This is our absolute best at making sure about exactly the amount it expenses to go all throughout the planet. It's precarious to offer an accurate response to this inquiry, on the grounds that each excursion depends on various factors like objections, timing, and voyaging style. In the event that you need to see our hard number, leap to that part. Something else, read on to perceive any reason why a hard number shouldn't generally be trusted. When I left on my first round-the-world outing, I asked veteran voyagers a key inquiry. How much does it cost to go all throughout the planet? It was the single greatest factor affecting my outing length and locations, and the quantity of things that sway a drawn-out movement financial plan are far not quite the same as a 14-day European getaway. Evaluations changed fiercely, and knowing where my own all-throughout-the-planet outing would fall in that range was an incredible obscure. I had no clue about how long my movement reserve funds, my independent pay, and travel contributing to a blog would keep me out and about, so over that first year, I followed each and every dollar I spent while voyaging. Since that first all-throughout-the-planet travel, I've gone through over a time of voyaging, and planning for short and long-haul all-throughout-the-planet travel is my claim to fame. My childhood was humble, yet I was as yet ready to set aside the cash to travel and turn out distantly for all 10-plus long periods of my reality voyages. We should jump into an exceptionally itemized breakdown of what a real one-year trip cost, the hard expenses related with all-throughout-the-planet travel, and the elements that most drastically sway your financial plan. The amount does traveling the world cost? By and large, $20,000 is the standard expense for an excursion all throughout the planet for one individual for 1 year. This assessment conforms to mainstream proposals that spending voyagers can spend a normal of $50 every day out and about, and permits extra financial plan for flights and antibodies. You'll spend up to $30,000 for a spending trip that incorporates less lodgings, and some convenience, transport, or food. Going as a couple or family doesn't straightforwardly twofold, triple, and so forth the expenses since housing and transport are shared costs. As you'll find in the point-by-point trip financial plans underneath, world travel costs for mid-reach to extravagance world voyagers can run as much as $40,000 to $50,000. What's for the most part remembered for the expense of a round-the-world excursion? There are truly a couple of things that individuals spend their cash on when they travel. Number 1. Boarding passes, getting from one district to another. The normal expense of an air Trex ticket will in general be in the $2,500 to $3,500 territory per individual, including charges. Throughout the most recent 20 years this number has remained genuinely predictable. You can appraise the expense of your airfare with our trip planner. On the off chance that you need a summed-up cost for your financial plan, use $3,300. In the event that your excursion comes in lower, that is a reward. Obviously, business class will run some extra. Number 2. Facilities. These can go from the most bare-bones quarters-style inn to a genuinely extravagant inn or resort. Obviously you can blend and match throughout your excursion. After boarding passes, facilities will be the most costly piece of your movement financial plan. Plan on $20-40 every night in reasonable areas and $90-150 in costly ones. On the off chance that you plan on lodgings consistently, significantly less. In modest territories you can discover a quarters for under $5 and surprisingly in the most costly regions, it's uncommon to discover one more than $25. Number 3. Food, drink. This thing can go from store picnicking, to road food, to cafes. This will differ from one dinner to another. Plan on $1-5 for each feast for every individual in economical districts and $5-20 for every supper for each individual in costly ones. Number 4. Exercises. These are things like visits, exhibition halls, experience exercises, elephant riding. Obviously you will burn through cash on getting things done. Can go from $5 to $200 each, contingent upon the action and area. Number 5. Ground transportation. This incorporates transports, trains, ships, taxis, moto carts, customary carts, tuk-tuks, canal boats, speedboats, bike rentals. Expenses change contingent upon how far you're going and how quick. Taking a moto across town in Africa costs not exactly $1. Leasing a Mercedes in Dubai may cost $500. For the most part, however, ground transportation is a little part of your costs. Number 6. Here's how much a round-the-world outing will cost. The overall agreement from voyagers who've done these outings is that a year out and about costs somewhere close to $20,000 and $30,000. In any case, that is only the center of the chime bend. In the event that you like to live in the lap of extravagance, flying in business class and remaining at the Four Seasons, you must compensation much more than that. In any case, in case you're a modest explorer, you might actually venture to the far corners of the planet for a year on $6,000. It has been done. To stoke the present conversation, how about we normal and agreeable RTW year-long outing at $24,000? In the event that you separate that month to month, a round-the-world outing will cost one individual around $2,000 each month, contemplating everything. For some individuals it's less expensive to be out and about than remaining at home. Remember that the more drawn out the excursion, the less you spend consistently, essentially in light of the fact that you don't have to fill every day with exercises or investing costly energy in air terminals. This is the motivation behind why we've said that more extended outings can really be less expensive on a relative premise. In the event that you need some further hard numbers on how much a round-the-world excursion cost, there's a choice of movement bloggers who have posted their numbers online for all to contrast and with assess. The touring blog Jack and Jill Travel has aggregated probably the best. The blog RTW Expenses set up a year-long count of their own expenses for a RTW trip. Lastly, AirTrek's maker Gil Gildner composed a broad record of his multi-day, 6-objective outing all throughout the planet alongside the amount it cost each day.